Hey, in today's episode, we are going to talk about the hottest topic that everyone is talking about today. I have a special guest with me. I've known him for years. He's a good friend of mine. It's going to be an interesting conversation because I love how he presents in at the conference, and the way he delivers the speeches. So it's going to be exciting for me. I hope it will be exciting for you as well. So the topic for today is unpacking the human plus AI collaboration, right? How AI is acting as a co-pilot. I think we've been talking about, we imagined the AI is going to replace humans, but the story is unfolding in a way today is far more human, right? AI is not taking over, it is teaming up with human, right? That is how I see it. We are entering into an interesting era where AI acts as a co-pilot. It's not the co-pilot that you're thinking of, but a co-pilot in many ways, like, it's a personal assistant, personal co-pilot, a partner that amplifies human creativity, if you will, right? Speed ups decision-making process, removes repetitive work that you're doing right now so that you can focus on the high value thinking and thought process work. So this collaboration is making people to be more effective and efficient. So we're going to unpack the whole standpoint of AI as a co-pilot. So in this episode, we're going to explore what real collaboration between humans and AI looks like, the wins, the tensions, the lessons learned from from leaders we are navigating the shift, right? I have this guy, Senthil. I want him to introduce himself and then we can go into the topics. And
thank you so much, Anand. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for hosting me. About me, I've been in Twin Cities for more than 28 years now. I'm working in healthcare technology for the past 2 decades. I started my career as a software engineer, did a bunch of websites, right from deluxe checks to Carlson Wagonlit Travel, many .coms in Twin Cities, my stamping on it. And then I shifted to healthcare. As part of telehealth company that I co-founded.
Right.
I call myself the technical co-founder. So I was the CTO of the company for the past 15 years. And for the past 6 months, I'm at MNGI, Minnesota Gastroenterology,
Sure.
at this private GI company. And so I'm the CIO for MNGI. So most of my examples today will be healthcare, unfortunately.
Yeah.
AI, but we'll talk. Excited to be here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Welcome to the show. Yeah, it will be interesting to relate AI to healthcare, right? It will be interesting and looking forward to it. I want to dive into this concept of AI being teammate or a partner, Senthil, with you. So for a long time, the conversation around technology is focused heavily on automation, right? How machines could take over tasks to do things faster or more efficient. But the story is evolving, right? Now it's not just about automation, right? You're not just looking for a repetitive task and automate the repetitive tasks. It's about collaboration. It's about asking someone. It's like talking to someone. AI is starting to feel less like a tool we use than more like a teammate right now, right? So I use it every day. I'm sure you're using it every day, right? We stopped going to multiple places instead of going to multiple places. We are going to one place. So a co-pilot is a classic example that helps us to think, create, and make decisions. I'm curious to know, how do you personally think about AI as a co-pilot in your own work or personally is shaping up yourself as a person?
It makes life a lot easier, isn't it? I wish we had these kind of tools 25 years ago when we were struggling. This kind of liberates, isn't it? Like it becomes conversational. It's not simple search. With Perplexity, for example, it's verified and you can make it accountable to. It's more like your research assistant and it's a partner. I think that's the right word today. It's definitely an amplifier is how I call it. Each tool has its own pluses and minuses. I always bring this example. If you're a carpenter, 50 years ago, you had one saw and at the manual saw. Today, you have circular saw, miter saw, jigsaw. There are like 70, 80 different saws, but obviously you're not using all the 70 for a task. You probably use the 5 or 6. You should know which one to use to do which task. And it makes your life it makes it a lot faster. You can get to your destination, a lot more ease. That's how I look at it. And it's definitely a partner. I'll give you an example in healthcare. For instance, the company I'm working for right now, we are using an ambient AI tool. It listens into the patient-physician conversation. Transcription is 10 years old. Now it does like in many different languages. The transcribing part is where it started, but now it's moving from transcription to creating notes based on my own notes. So physicians train this tool and then it learns from their notes and it starts to create the patient notes, what the treatment plan is going to look like, what are the orders that it needs to generate. So it saves them a lot of time. This is one tool which amplifies their productivity. Instead of spending like 20 minutes after every visit or 15 minutes in documenting.
Right.
This is what we do at our telehealth company at the beginning of time, 2010, when we launched this telehealth company, our goal was to minimize our physician-patient interaction and make it a lot easier for our physicians to make decisions, to make the treatment plan with a higher degree of accuracy. And it did definitely work, but it took some years. Today, you can like leapfrog from one place to other in like a minute or two.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. And
Well, I
it
think
is happening and it changes. Yeah.
it is true. I think that's a classic example. Like every one of us would have had this real wow moment, right? Like, we might be thinking something cool, but it might be like, giving you surprises, right? For sure. I'm sure everyone had their wow moment. Like for me, the wow moment was when I was like thinking about starting my own podcast. I was like thinking about, okay, I don't have time to do this editing. I don't have time to like select on these topics and, how do I cut it? How do I make the sound more elegant or the video more crisp, right? And I found this tool. There are a lot of tools available in the market, and the tools are like helping me in a tremendous way. All I need to do is just spend like 15 minutes of time, right? And you can template it, right? That was a wow moment for me, right? So you don't need to spend too much time in doing editing. Likewise, I'm sure you might have.
We can translate this whole audio podcast into 80 different languages in like the next 8 minutes.
Exactly.
You can live stream it in like 10 languages. It is all possible today. And we can hyper personalize the whole podcast after. So there's a lot of moments, man. Like 8-9 years ago, I was at a conference where this presenter was presenting about like the AI tool to predict diabetic retinopathy, and the FDA approved it. This is not even augmented AI. This is like a complete autonomous AI solution. So that was a wow moment. Like this was before pandemic. And so this FDA approving an algorithm, it takes months and years. And so this company was talking about, we got the autonomous AI. So autonomous in the sense for viewers who are viewing it, you don't even have to see a physician, an ophthalmologist, and like 5 other people before you get your treatment plan and prescription for diabetic retinopathy. This one medical device does this for them. So it just kind of puts the barriers and the wait time, and also makes it available at a lot cheaper cost for everybody. That's where we're moving towards.
Right. With Comet browser, with Comet browser from Perplexity is making my life easier, much more better, right? I don't need to even log in at 10 a.m., right, to post like I just need to schedule it, and I need to tell Comet that, hey, post this video with this context, with this message at this time, boom, right, it happens. I want to probably shift gears. This is an interesting topic. I know you talked about this in one of the speaking opportunity that you had. I think AI today can do so many things, right? We once thought only humans could do, like it could be like recognizing patterns, making predictions, or even generating text, right? But there's something unique that human only can do but cannot do, which is like the empathy, emotional intelligence, intuition, and deeper understanding, right? And then how you can relate to that. I remember a phrase, I don't know where it's from, but it said AI can tell you what the data says, but only humans can feel what that data means, right? That stuck in my mind. I'm curious, Senthil, you teach AI stuff to students and you are implementing it in your work. What do you think the shift is going? Like human and AI working closely with each other. What do you think, or what do you believe the humans will continue to do the best? Right? You're working with doctors, you're working with students, even as AI keeps getting smarter and smarter every day.
Correct. First of all, this is what we need to remember. Repetitive tasks, you leave it to AI. That automation is a lot easier, isn't it? So that you can redeploy human to higher value work. I personally believe goal definition is where humans will excel. Like you maybe do the strategic guidance to this tool. You probably course them, and you put the ethical lens. And as you said, what does it really mean? And then do the judgment arbitration. So all of that is us. As humans, we are going to, but we leave these conversational and verifiable answers, part all of it to some kind of an AI engine. That's how I believe the future is going to be. It's a complex analysis, which we cannot even do exponential calculation, isn't it? For many of us, calculus is super complex. So leave all of that, like the complex design to AI, and just do the higher order thinking. I believe the teams which excel in taking AI as a partner is going to succeed in the future.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Like whoever is not, this is the same as like 25 years ago. I'll give you an example. Like when internet just started to come about, every company wanted to get their .com presence. And I said, this is year 97, 98. Some of my buddies who were working in Power Builder in this team, they were talking about, oh my God, internet is just a fad. We are printing paper, selling checks and all that. Why do we need to be in a .com? Now, if you don't have a mobile app or a mobile-friendly website, you're out of the game. And that's like 2011, 12 times frame after iPhone 2, 3 came out. But today, that is shifting to, so that's how you got to constantly evolve and just move on.
Right. Yeah, that's very true. You have to probably assess and adjust and adapt, right? Those are the things that you need to do as a human being. Yeah. I wanted to switch gears on.
More adaptable are going to stay, isn't it? That's why Netflix is here. Netflix approached Blockbuster 3 times. I'm sure you've heard the story many times.
Correct.
You know where Blockbuster and Sears and Macy's are. Then it's whoever are adaptable. So next gen, whoever is going to be adaptable to this AI will stay.
Yes. I know. We talked about this when we met, when we talked last time. Like, okay, we should probably find some time to constantly keep ourselves up to date, right? It's changing every minute, every second, right? It's hard to keep up with.
Correct. Yeah. Imagine this. I want to throw another healthcare example here. I was at a conference recently and this doc was presenting like from 90s to 2000. It took 50 years for the medical knowledge to double. Okay, so published articles and everything. And then from 2000 to 2010, it doubled in 10 years. Can you guess like what's the doubling period right now? Just
within months? Within months?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like maybe a year, but right now the day is like 74 days. So every 74 days. So imagine if you're publishing a book today, it's already obsolete by the time it gets published, it gets out. So we actually, at our current company, we work with open evidence. That's like Perplexity, but medical field. Okay, so open evidence. There is another one called Doximity, but most of our docs use open evidence. And that brings all these behind the paywall medical knowledge into like one place. It's like walking into a buffet in Dubai and get all 100 or 200 items and all of it is given to you in like no time. And it's all verifiable. All the links are there. So our folks use it for creating the notes and giving it to the health plan. So like, for instance, you want a prior auth for a complex procedure for a patient. You want all the bulleted points, but you also want all these links where you got this information from. Imagine this. It took like 5, 10 hours, 20 hours to create this thing before. Now it's like 5-10 minutes. So that's why I'm saying it's a multi.
Yeah, I think it's freeing up a lot of the time where we are spending most of our time with the repetitive tasks. Like, I cannot wait for a day where you just like send only commands, right, to the machines and everything will be done, right? I think we are getting there. I want to shift gears a little bit, Senthil, to say we talked about all this goodness, right? It's evolving. There's a lot of new stuff that are coming into play, but sometimes it feels like it is a little unpredictable, right? Because you have to really have human in the loop to understand the context, right? Not every time it's going to give the right response, right? There's a lot of interpretation that it does, right? Because of the prompts that you use, because of the way you ask questions. You're in a healthcare space, right? What does this partnership with AI looks like for you when it's not going as expected? Because it's a life or a death situation, right?
Correct. Yeah. So the way I look at it is, yes, 3-4 years ago, even if, like, look at ChatGPT before coming into the healthcare field. GPT-1, which is like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, they test. Now it tells you that I don't know the answer to this. 4 years ago, it'll hallucinate, or even a couple of years ago, it'll hallucinate and make up things. And today, the training has changed. So the model training has changed. So it doesn't know. It now comes back and says, like, I am going to disappoint you. I don't know the answer. So I'll verify it. This is a phenomenal step that AI is making. So that's why we use open evidence, as I mentioned earlier, in the healthcare example. Yes, it's a research assistant, has a lot of verifiable answers, but we can also ask our doctors, before you publish this, you just read through, you have to spend your time. But to collect everything, to put it in one plate, this is like the taste testing, going back to the Dubai airport example, like, okay, you have all the 200 plus minutes, you know which one is going to work for you. You will just taste it a little bit and then, okay, this is what I'm going to put it in my plate. So that's what you need to do as a human. You're not going to take all the 200 so then you visit us in a GI clinic. So I don't want that. So the AI definitely is getting better and it's making these verifiable answers. It's not naming the starter. Unfortunately, that's what people relate to. But over the years, I think this will get better.
Right. Yeah, I think looking at it, like you said, it's going to get much better and better, and we can see that like every second, every minute, every week, right? I think going back to your examples about like 74 days, like that's fascinating to me. But when you look ahead, right, probably 2 years from now, 5 years from now, I think it's hard to predict. I was talking to Manjit on a similar topic, right?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
how AI is going to help in the universities, right? You know, he quoted a lot of examples. I know you teach students too, but I
Yeah,
think the
yeah.
one thing is very clear, Senthil, right? The relationship between human and AI is going to get closer and closer, right? I think it's not going to
Correct.
change. I think we are moving
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from using these tools as an experimentation to kind of like using this as part of our day-to-day life, right? What do you think is going to happen, right? You know, how is this human plus AI relationship is going to evolve in next 2 to 3 or 5 years?
Oh, it's gonna get even closer. Is how I think for folks who don't want to listen to that, you got to go back and read. I've been talking to our students. The goal is be adaptable, be flexible. And I'll give you another example. Like 10 years ago, FDA approval for AI algorithms was like 10 in a year. Today, it's exponentially growing. Last year alone was like 500 plus.
Right.
So it's growing, isn't it? So this is mostly augmented AI solutions on the radiology and pathology, but it's also on cardiology, ophthalmology, and neurology. So all fields are getting disrupted in healthcare, which
Right.
is the super regulated industry. So the example why I'm talking about healthcare is if it's like the most complex regulated industry is getting some AI implementation. It's already
Right.
happening. Robotic surgery is already happening for the past decade or so. It's going to change and you will be partnering with them. All I'm saying is you as a human, if you are adaptable, and if you augment this AI tools
Yes.
skill with you, then it makes you much more employer.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I'm not going to use calculator in this. And today, I don't know whether you need to know all these complex math problems. It's like you can just pick up your phone and do all of these calculations a lot easier. This is back 1970s about like, oh, the biggest job at that time was what, telex operator or facsimile operator or something like that. 100,000 plus jobs today. Obviously, that is not obsolete. So we do not know what is going to happen in the next 5 years on the new jobs. So maybe it's an AI augmenter. There might be some new jobs which are going to come about, which we do not know. And that's where we are marching towards. And people are all worried about it. I know even at our company, we always talk about, oh my God, is my job going to be replaced? No. As long as we are growing, we make it operationally efficient. We can move into this higher order tasks. There are like a lot of fish to fry, and we're like working on repetitive tasks.
Yes. Yeah. I think I can imagine it. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe a decade or maybe 5 years. Who knows? It's changing.
I think I can imagine you will have like a teammate whom you are going to talk to, right? For simple, maybe like code approval, right? It could be anything. Or can you schedule this meeting, right?
It is already happening on there.
Yes.
The vibe code tools are going to be your AI assistant, a co-pilot. Like imagine life without co-pilot inside Outlook now, or the Gmail automatic responses that it automatically generates, Gemini's integration. It makes, I personally feel it saves a lot of time. I always think about, oh, wish I had 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Wish I had to dictate things like 10 years ago. I would not have had the carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah, that's what I always think.
I feel like it's a luxury, right? It's a luxury, but so that we can focus on the high valued items. Again, thank you, Sal, for taking the time. I know we can talk about this topic for hours and hours. I know we've been talking about it. You know, I've been bugging you lately, like, you know, hey, what do we do this? Or what if scenarios, right? It's always interesting to talk about someone who's actually implementing it, right? Especially in the healthcare space. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thanks for being part of the show, Senthil.
Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you so much. Wish you good luck on this show. I hope your audience base increases in the next few weeks. Hopefully an AI algorithm that you find or two will make it a lot more easier. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.